I'm spending the next 7 days with my favorite people who just so happen to also be your favorite booktubers. As I'm sitting here admiring their heavenly shelves, I thought, why don't I scrap my plans for the week and surprise them by only reading books from their bookshelves for the next 7 days.
Hi, Maggie!
Well, hello guys! Welcome to the vlog. As you can see, I am with besties Ash and Ian. I was sitting here last night and literally just admiring the shelves. So I'm very excited to just sit in this room for the next week. For this week, I did have a fun video planned, but last night, as I was looking at the books, I was thinking about maybe changing my ideas. I think for this week, I'm only gonna read books from your guys' shelves. Stop!
Yes,
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
I was hoping you would do that.
Yeah, so I was looking through all the books last night and I was reading sentences and just from what you guys have said previously. So
You're a mastermind.
the first book that I'm going to read.
What is that? What? Stop! Oh my gosh! This is a full circle moment.
Yeah, I know, because when I went to Utah last year, last June. Yeah, so literally almost exactly a year ago. So we went to a bookstore and Ash literally convinced me to buy this book. So I technically have it at home. It's not my book, so whatever.
Oh
But yeah, she hyped it up. I've been in a historical fiction mood for some reason, and isn't this also kind of fantasy in a way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very genre bending.
Yeah, and I'm in the mood to get out of my comfort zone. And I know that you said good things about this one, so.
Wait, I'm so excited. I actually can't get over this.
Yes, so this is the first one I'm reading, and then the second one is going to be a surprise to neither of you because we've been talking about it, but yeah, it is it is Pines by Blake Crouch. We've been talking about, I got here last night, I'm we've been talking about this forever, as it's literally been 24 hours, but I'm very excited. We all have loved Blake Crouch's books. I think, have we all only read
Dark Matter
and Recursion?
Well, I read this literally 2 days ago.
Yeah. Would you rate it?
It's a 4.5.
Okay.
It's so good.
I was a little nervous because I was I've been feeling weird with kind of thriller-esque type of books, and I know this one has some weird not tropes. Is it a trope?
I don't know, it's just Blake.
It's just there's some weird things in there, so I was kind of nervous, but after you hyped it up, I was okay, I think I have to read it.
And of course, thrillers, they leave you on cliffhangers, but this is the first book in a trilogy, so this is cliffhanger to the max.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And it takes place in Idaho, where I'm from, so I was
I forgot that it's a trilogy, so I'm
I know, same.
That's gonna be kind of scary.
I forgot about that too.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'm dang, what is this cliffhanger gonna be?
He wrote these before all of his genre-bending sci-fi books, so this is hungry early Blake Crouch.
Hungry?
He's doing whatever he wants.
Both of these books are ones that you guys have both said really good things about, so.
Yeah.
And they're both out of my comfort zone, so I'm very excited.
I've read both.
You read both?
I've read both of these.
What did you think about Lovely War?
Lovely War is so beautiful. Just tragically beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, and the historical fiction part is so good. I really found the fantasy aspect a really charming twist. Perfect blending of the two.
I like genre bending books too.
Yeah.
I feel that's kind of my vibe. I think for the rest of the week, we're just we don't have plans. We really don't. We're just kind of hanging out.
Yeah.
Doing
Just
book
read.
stuff. Yeah, so I'm just gonna take you guys along throughout the next 7 days. Well, I guess 6 now. I'm already counting down the days.
No.
That's so sad.
We don't think about that.
Hello, my sweet bookish friends. Oh, I feel this is a weird angle. Much better. So, I'm now on page 71 of Pines by Blake Crouch. Wayward Pines. I don't know. Is it Pines or Wayward Pines? I don't know. But, you guys, this book, first of all, I miss Blake Crouch's writing so much. I'm just hooked. Literally hooked from page 1. And we were talking about this earlier, but literally something that we all love about Blake Crouch's writing is that he kind of just puts you in the middle of the chaos, so it's not a normal kind of mystery, thriller, sci-fi type of book where they kind of build up to things and then you have the action. No, you're placed in the middle of the action as it's happening. So literally from page 1, you have no idea what's going on. I don't know if I explained what this book is about, but honestly, I don't even know if I could explain what this book is about. But basically, at the beginning of the book, we have our main character, right? And he wakes up. He's obviously been in some kind of either crash or fight of some sort because he is beat up. He's got bruises. He's a little bit bloody. He wakes up, I think, in the woods. So we're kind of trying to figure out, first of all, who are you? Second of all, how did you get here? And then I think, a couple chapters in, when he remembers like who he is and like what he was doing in a specific town. The entire town is sketch. Like you cannot trust a single soul in this town thus far. And I'm super excited because not only am I reading this book for this video, but this is actually a buddy read. Me and Ash decided that we were going to do a buddy read of sorts, and so when I picked out Pines, and after Ian was talking about, like, so highly talking about it, we decided that we were going to read Pines together, so...
I'm so excited.
She just started it. I'm like 70 pages ahead, but I feel like you'll catch up pretty quick because it's like, it's bingeable. Like, it's binge-worthy. Like, my eyeballs could...
Yes.
Oh, we did get smoothies, and I got an acai bowl, but it like melted by the time we got home, so I'm waiting for it to freeze again. I'm determined to find the best acai bowl in every state. Now in Texas, I've had one at this place called, is it Two Hands? But yeah, I got one at Juiceland today, and I'm very excited to try it. Oh my gosh, it's literally so juicy. I gotta let that sit for a minute.
That's so weird. What does it taste?
Their acai is super good. Yeah, anyway, we're getting cozy. We're gonna read the rest of the night. So we'll see when I actually update you guys. I am literally spiraling. I'm spiraling. I wish I had my camera on throughout this entire like reading experience thus far, because the amount of times I've been like just absolutely mind blown it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And Ash is, what page are you on? Ash is on page 34. I'm on page 111. I'm just like, you don't know what's coming. I don't know what's coming. Ian knows what's coming though. I know. I love that he's read it. I'm a little bit further and you're just like, you're right behind me. So like, I know what you're talking about and he knows what I'm talking about. I don't know, but dude, this freaking book is wild. I'm trying to stay on my sleep schedule so we don't get in a flare up or something. But I need to know what happens. I'm about to make the ultimate dessert supreme out of coconut pudding, chocolate chips, and, pause for effect, cookies. And we're gonna read as much as possible. It is already like, what, 10 o'clock? It's already 10 o'clock, so we don't have that long until we get pretty sleepy. We do try to adhere to our bedtimes. So we'll see how much we can get done, but we are both in very crazy parts of the book. I think Ash, what page are you on? Ash is on 128. I think I'm on like 180 maybe. I'm freaking out. Absolutely spiraling. This book is absolutely insane. I'm still hooked, like 100%. It gets weirder and weirder as I keep reading it, but like in the best way possible. We'll see what happens. Okay guys, third acai bowl of the trip. Yeah, it's my third acai bowl of the trip and I've only been here for 4 days. I think this is day 5. So we haven't beaten my streak of Hawaii where I got one literally every single day for 7 days straight. So we're doing a taste test for every place that I go to. So this is Mamaka. Let's see if it lives up. I gotta get the full experience. I gotta get the blueberry, the strawberry, the cacao nibs. Out of 10, it's probably like a 6.5. What did everybody else get?
I got the Babe, and it's so good. It's like blueberries, dates.
Because you're a babe.
Oh,
Because you're a babe.
don't flatter me.
Is it good?
It's so good. It's my tried and true.
I got the Maui Sunrise smoothie. It's very like peach, mango, strawberry, pineapple. I think I'm embracing my tropical era.
I got the same thing and I sucked it down.
So we are now at the Austin, to be specific, Austin City Public Library. But I wanted to go around and see what everybody's reading and how you guys are liking it. I'm so excited to get your update though.
Howling Dark by Christopher Rocchio, second book in the Sun Eater series. Epic as usual. Holy crap, beautiful, stirring, already wanted to cry. 116 pages.
Out of
656.
Okay, not bad, not bad.
I'm reading Enchantra by Kaylee Smith. This is the sequel to Phantasma, which I gave 5 stars, so hopefully don't have too high expectations. But so far it's like very gothic, and I think there's going to be lots of like puzzle, mystery, and they just introduced the love interest, and it's already going good. I was just listening to the audiobook, so I need to find my place in the physical book, but I think I'm like 5 chapters in.
I'm reading the same book as Faith. I'm reading Pines by Blake Crouch. I'm like 50 pages behind Faith, and I'm already freaking out, and seeing her reactions is making making me so excited to get to the point that she's at. Every time she's made like an audible expression of any sort, I'm like, what chapter are you on? What chapter? So I'm almost to the chapter, yes, where I remember she had like a huge reaction. So I'm so excited. I am on page 158.
I think I'm on 210, and there's only 300 pages, so I'm like almost to the end. I'm so far really, really enjoying it. I feel like where she's at and where I'm at, there's both been very intense things happening, so we're both going through like very intense things, but different things at the same time. So we're gonna read for 30 minutes until this library closes, so we're locking in. Oh, Wayward Pines. So I ended up finishing this book last night. This was probably the craziest book I have read in a very, very long time. Like, kept me hooked from page one. It was just like twist after twist and like unsettling and genre bending. I think it's categorized as like mystery thriller and maybe some sci-fi and I don't even know what else. I think it's classified a little bit as horror as well. I would say this is definitely one of the first like horror books that I've read. And I think that it's a great introduction to the genre because it is like, it's creepy and it's unsettling, but it's nothing that I couldn't handle. And I never read horror. And I'm also kind of a scaredy cat. I went into this book basically blind, just going off of like Ian's review and recommendation. So I don't want to tell you guys too much about like what it's about. So I'll kind of just tell you like the beginning of the story. And so we're kind of just like dropped into the commotion, like the middle of the commotion. He wakes up, he doesn't really remember like who he is, where he's at, what happened. He's all beat up. There's this weird town where everybody's acting suspicious. He doesn't know where his belongings are. And so pretty much throughout the entire book, we are trying to A, escape this town, and B, figure out what the heck is going on in this town. This feels so different, yet so similar to the Blake Crouch writing that I'm used to. I have only read Dark Matter and Recursion from him. This is my third book from him, and this is also the beginning of a series. So I will be picking up the next book as soon as possible. I think I'm going to give it like a 4.75 or a 5-star. I don't know, because there was one very, very small portion of the book where I was kind of just like, okay, let's get to the point. Like, let's truck on through. But other than that, like, there was nothing that I didn't like about this book. I felt like it wrapped up very well. It kind of, in a way, ends on a cliffhanger. When I ended this book, I felt like I didn't immediately feel like I had to jump into the next book to see like the continuation, like what happened after that. It had a very satisfying ending, but also got me really, really excited and intrigued to see what happens in the next few books.
Hi!
Niche wants to get into.
Niche, come here! Come say hi! Okay, so I am so excited to watch this and like see your thoughts on everything because I am now, I think I'm on page like 215 or something. So right there at the end, and well, not right there at the end. I still have
so close.
Quite a ways, but like,
so close.
Yeah, getting closer. But I feel like I am reading the parts where Faith was being very audible with like her gasps and stuff. So
very expressive.
Yes, very.
Because so much happens where you're at.
So much. And I remember her and Ian would say things, but they weren't spoilers, like just enough to get me excited. And so now I'm at that part. There have been little bits where I think it's what they were talking about, but now I know for sure it's the part they were talking about. I feel like now I've hit a point where before, I felt like there was a lot of suspense, and then it started transitioning to a little bit more horror, and now I'm actually kind of scared.
Now we're gonna go meet up with Allie,
Yeah.
and do some fun little markety things. Maybe a little bit of shopping. Not that
Yeah.
we need to go shopping again.
We went to I just came in to show Faith my Brandy Melville outfit. We're talking about going just at a different location.
Yep.
They are different.
Yeah, they had different stuff.
Sometimes.
Sometimes I just want to look at the same stuff over
Yeah,
and
no,
over
same.
again.
So we might do that again.
Yeah.
We're just girls.
We're just girls.
You blame us.
Okie dokie, friends. So now that I feel like it's so echoey in here. If it's really echoey, I'm sorry. Now that I finished Wayward Pines, I'm going into the second book, which you guys saw at the beginning, which is Lovely War. So Ian rated this, did he say 4 stars?
I think so. I actually forgot.
I think he said 4 stars or 4-ish. And then I'll let you talk about how you liked it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I think I gave this one, I can't remember. I think I gave it like a 4.75 or 4.5. I think it's definitely the book that got me into historical fiction.
Oh.
Yeah. This book, I literally just randomly picked it up at Barnes & Noble because of the cover, and that was the greatest decision ever.
What is this book about? Because I'm really bad at like explaining what books are about.
This one is like definitely a little bit hard to describe anyway. It's a romance, but there's also fantasy and historical fiction. There's a lot going on. This takes place during World War I, and it's a romance story between two different couples that is from the point of view of Aphrodite, the Greek goddess. And you basically see these couples go through the height of the war. It's honestly like tragic, but it's beautiful. And
tragically beautiful.
Yes, it's gonna make you feel all of the emotions. You're gonna ride through so many highs and lows with these characters. It's also very educational about World War I. I feel like there are so many books about World War II, of course, like understandably so.
But this was the first one.
Yeah, I feel like this was definitely different for me, reading about World War I. It was really, really sad just seeing the conditions that these soldiers are in. It's devastating.
Yeah, because do you get to see like kind of the war front?
Yes.
Locking in again.
Oh my gosh, I'm so on edge. That literally scared me. Oh my gosh, I am so scared right now.
Stress.
Yeah, I mean, I have ideas, obvious ideas, but I can't.
Heyo. Oh, so it is my last day in Austin. I'm so sad. I've already sobbed like 4 times. It's fine. But I wanted to do a little update before I got on my plane because I probably am going to read a good chunk of this book on the plane. So I didn't want to only update you guys when I was like halfway through, if not more of the way through the book. So, Lovely War. I am on page 54 out of, I think, like 500 pages. But so far, I'm absolutely loving the writing. This book is already so beautifully written. I also love how these love stories being told by Aphrodite's like POV, it just puts such an interesting and like refreshing perspective on things. I feel like this is a book that I would definitely cry in, but not cry because it's like, I mean, like obviously it's gonna be devastating, but I'm more gonna cry because it's like devastatingly beautiful, you know, kind of like how we were saying before. I'm really interested to see the second couple because I do believe we are hearing about 2 different couples, if I remember Ashlyn saying that. If I'm remembering that correctly in my head. I think we follow 2 couples, but we've only met one of the couples, so I don't know if I could handle this times 2. Either way, I'm obsessed. I'm loving it. I really wanted to read this on the plane, but I also have Live No Lies by John Mark Comer that I started on the flight here. I didn't get very far into it though. I only got about like 20 pages or something, but I was really liking it so far, so I don't know. Maybe I'll go in between Live No Lies and Lovely War because I do have about 8 or so hours of like travel time ahead of me, and my flight already got delayed, so who knows what the night has in store for us. Knocking on hypothetical wood that it all goes as planned though, because I already have a little bit of flight anxiety, so this is an instance where I would really not appreciate surprises. I leave in a couple hours, so we're just doing some editing, some reading, some hanging out until they have to take me to the airport, and then I'll probably see you guys either in the airport or when I get back home. Yes, I'm back home now. I'm so sad about it. I miss my friends. Oh, this is so sad. But also I'm happy to be back home because I am a homebody, and if I get off my routines for too long, I can start to go a little crazy. Oh, but I did not end up reading at all on the plane, but I have read quite a bit today. So I am now about 54% of the way through Lovely War, which puts me at page 252 out of like 460-ish. And this book... This book is written so beautifully, which I believe I already said that. I will say this is a very slow read. It's definitely not one that you can like fly through, but I also kind of like that. Like I've been liking taking my time with it. I just love World War II books because I feel like reading from a different perspective in a whole different time that I didn't live in or through is just so fascinating to me. It's also very humbling. I will say with this book, I don't quite understand the Greek gods part of it. Like I kind of get it because Aphrodite being the goddess of love, and we are telling love stories, so like it kind of makes sense, but I also, up until this point, feel like it could have just been written as 2 different love stories and you could have like taken the whole Greek gods thing out of it because I honestly don't really understand why it's in there, but I'm sure it'll make sense eventually. I do love our characters. The 2 love story, like the 2 couples that we're following, I love them. so much. And I feel like you really get to know these characters. You get to know their traumas, what they're passionate about, their dreams. And I think love in general was just, I mean, love is beautiful in any era, but I feel like love in this time period is just something else. It's just so beautiful and just so simple, but also not at the same time. We didn't get introduced to our second couple until semi-recently. The first like good chunk of the book we were just following Hazel and James, and now we're following, oh my gosh, what's her name? I think it's Aubrey, who is a man. Oh my gosh, I literally forgot the girl's name. She's French though. And the audiobook has been very, very fun with all the accents. I have been going in between audio and physical for this book, and I will say the audiobook is so much fun because like I just said, they do have a few different voice actors and they do use accents for all of them. So it's very, very fun. Seeing what these characters have been through and what they are currently going through is absolutely heartbreaking. I'm still having a great time. I'm really enjoying this book, although I will say, again, it's just a very slow read, but I feel like for the mood that I'm in right now, I don't mind it. Since I did just get back from traveling, I've been trying to just clean, tidy up, organize around the house, and I have been in a little autoimmune flare-up from traveling, so I've also been kind of trying to take it easy. So for the rest of the day, we are going to continue to go in between audio and physical, and I'm hoping I finish this book by tomorrow, so I will give you guys some final updates in a little bit. After being in Ashlyn and Ian's book room, I'm realizing how dark and like cool toned mine is, and it's making me very depressed. This angle feels weird. Is that worse or better? I don't know. Anyway, I just finished Lovely War. What do you have to say? Squish has a lot to say about this book. I loved it. I think I'm gonna give it like a 4-star though. I didn't love it enough for it to be a 5-star, but I did almost cry multiple times. This book doesn't really have a plot, so to say. You're really there for the characters, the relationships, the love. Because I mean, overall, this is a romance story with maybe a tiny bit of fantasy and of course historical fiction. Like Ashlyn said, I feel like we kind of learned quite a bit about like what the war front kind of looked like. Even though there are like a lot of World War kind of 1 and 2 like documentaries and movies and stuff, I just think sometimes it hits different when you read it in books because you're like actually in the minds of the people who are like experiencing that. The whole Greek gods thing, I will say, I was kind of iffy about it because on one hand, I really, really liked how it was told by Aphrodite's point of view because I just felt like it was kind of fresh perspective that was like outside of the couples themselves. So I don't know, that was fun. But the whole like being on trial thing and involving all the other gods, I just felt like that kind of was a miss for me. I didn't really understand the importance of it. I don't think it really added a whole lot to the story. Although it was interesting though. So like, I don't know if it was taken out. I don't know if it would have like hit the same. I just feel kind of like iffy about that. As far as the romance stories go themselves, like I said before, we are following 2 couples. And I mean, obviously, since like we didn't live through that time, we don't know exactly how things were, but I feel like it was pretty realistic for the time they were in because it felt like this push and pull, you know? Like they obviously didn't want to get into anything because they wanted to protect the person that they loved in case they didn't live to be together. But then on the other hand, they're like, well, I might die tomorrow, so we might as well like go all in. And I love how simple and sure they were about each other from the beginning. What? You're very vocal today. Sassy pants. I feel like I'm going to be thinking about these characters for a very long time. I do think we got a little bit more of one couple than the other. Like we definitely, I feel like, got more of Hazel and James than we did of Colette and Aubrey. But either way, I loved seeing both of their stories. It was just a cute book overall. I had a really good time with it. It was emotional. It was beautiful. It was slow but intriguing. I don't know, if you get really bored by historical fiction like World War I, World War II stuff, I don't know if you would like this book that much, but oh, the romance is just something else. It's just something else. Anyway, now that that is done, that does conclude this vlog. I'm honestly shocked. Actually, I'm kind of not, because I know Ashlyn and Ian talked so highly of these books, so it doesn't really surprise me that I also rated them very high. But to find like basically a 5-star read and a 4-star read in one video based off books that I was reading from somebody else's shelves, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Now just wait for the next video that I have that I filmed while I was there, because that one's also gonna be interesting and very fun. As for right now though, I love you guys so much. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week. Know that you are loved, know that you are appreciated, and know that I am looking forward to seeing you in my next video. Mwah!